Sen.
And together,
We're Mise and Sen.
And together,
We're Mise and Sen.
Hey guys, is it alright if I ask you a few questions?
Of course, but nothing personal.
okay, follow
That's
us.
okay. So, talk to us a bit about the costume choices in your latest film.
Okay, so for the hunters, played by the wonderful Mike and Stu. We wanted to communicate the sense of their place in society around the classes.
To create this sense, we used tweed suits, establishing their upper class status.
And adhering to the stereotypical shooting weekend. Which again hints towards the key conventions of our film.
20s class divide.
So don't be offended if you like shooting peasants for fun. Oh, sorry, I meant pheasants.
For both Zaza and Daisy, we needed to create a clear distinction between the two groups, the hunters and the hunted.
We wanted to uniform the girls, essentially stripping them from all the identity they had before.
And we wanted the jumpsuits that the girl wore to communicate how the men portrayed them as prey for them to hunt and kill.
Which is why we chose to use jumpsuits to hint at the prison symbolism within the costume. Oh, hey, Alton!
Hi! But we didn't want to leave their costumes there.
Oh no, that'd be way too boring. We needed some personality in there.
Which is why we decided to use the colour of the tops worn underneath to create symbolism of their personality.
The connotations of these colours allow the audience to perceive their own judgment of the characters and hint towards the narrative outcome of both their fates.
Which is why we decided Daisy should wear red.
Symbolising power, revenge, anger.
And to highlight to the audience of their importance within the narrative.
Which is why Zaza wore white.
Symbolising innocence and weakness.
And to hint towards her obvious death.
Cool, tell me about lighting then.
Hit it, James!
We wanted to enhance the intensity of the scene as much as possible.
And as we filmed outside, we needed to create atmosphere through the lighting somehow.
To do this, we used white balance, turning it down to make it seem as though it's much darker than it is.
Which gave the sequence a much darker colour palette, helping establish the convention of horror.
And to highlight the uneasy, dangerous tone which is reflected through the action.
What about performance and direction?
Well, we wanted Zaza's character to adhere to the female victim stereotype.
Which is why she was always running and screaming, lifelessly.
Basically struggling a lot.
Well, her role was essentially to build the danger of the situation, the narrative, the opening scene, and to build the tension for the audience, setting it up for Daisy, our protagonist.
Whereas Daisy subverts the blonde, ditzy, stereotypical female victim.
Which is why her directions remain calculated, precise, and dangerous.
Her performance and the choices she made helps to hint towards the narrative and her character is capable of.
Essentially suggesting to the audience that she will win, whatever the outcome of this situation is.
Where are we now?
We had to change location, you see. We filmed outside. We wanted to communicate the desolation and seclusion of the narrative, because the girls were being hunted. This helped when we were filming outside in the woods, which is slightly different than London, let's face it.
So tell me about props and why did you use them? Well, for the props for the hunters, we used guns and knives. This helped build the convention of horror.